Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, then talk about the future of Franck Kessie, and then lastly talk about Dembele and his position with FC Barcelona, because let me tell you guys, we're in a very interesting position in general in terms of who is going to be the captains for next season, and one of them is including Dembele, which again we are going to be talking about by the end of this video. If you guys do want to skip through certain parts in this video and just go like let's say for example go straight to the conversation of Dembele, you guys can. So everything is going to be organized down below on the timeline. Everything will be set, and so I hope you guys do enjoy this video overall. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. I'm happy that you guys are here. If you guys also want to support this YouTube channel, you guys can so by liking this video and also subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. And so let's first talk about Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, because it does say here that Barcelona have already begun negotiations to renew Ter Stegen because his contract does expire in 2025, which is about 2 years from today. And there is an idea within the club that they want to renew Ter Stegen until 2028. So like for another further 3 years after 2025. Keep in mind, Ter Stegen came in 2014. And so if he does end up renewing and he stays until 2028, he would last a total of 14 seasons with FC Barcelona. That would be massive. That would be like how we saw Buffon with Juventus. Now I know that Buffon has probably been there longer, but the main point is that Ter Stegen would be considered as one of the legends of FC Barcelona for being here for a very long time and also at the same time producing results, bringing great performances. And it continues to say here that the proposal is already on the table and the harmony between the two parties is very good. Ter Stegen is very happy at Barcelona. He does not want to move anywhere, and this is again according to Marca. Now there is also going to be another reason on why Barcelona want to extend Ter Stegen for another 3 years. It says here that the sports area intends to finish negotiating a new salary adjustment for Ter Stegen's contract, deferring part of his payroll. From the club, they assure that the German's predisposition is good because he feels valued and very important, meaning that he is willing to listen to whatever Barcelona want to do with his contract and with his salary. So I do think that this long-term contract is a mix of two things. One is because they think that Ter Stegen is still good enough, he can still be a very important and key player for this club, and two, they want to extend him that far out because of his salary. Maybe they're saying, hey look, we can't really pay you this amount for the next 2 years, we want to take a portion of this amount that we have to pay you and push them back further for another 2 or 3 years. And so in the end, I do expect all of this to go through. I do still see Ter Stegen as the #1 captain for Barcelona, and you know what's so crazy is that I have been seeing a lot of backlash on this decision to keep him until 2028, because I honestly think that they will. He will be 36, 37 years old, and many are saying that Ter Stegen would be too old, that he's not going to be good enough, but we have to understand this sport, and we also especially have to understand how goalkeepers last in this sport. It has already been studied numerous times and backed by multiple credited players and legends, and many are saying the same thing, that goalkeepers do not really start their careers until after 30. It's been said that they don't even reach their prime between the ages of 20 to 29 years old. Many outfield players like strikers, midfielders, center backs do reach their peak between the range of 22 to 27 or 28 or 29 years old, but for goalkeepers it's very different. They reach their peak around the age of 30 to 38 years old because of the experience that they carry. And also we also have to realize that in the goalkeeper's position, they are required to do much different things. If goalkeepers were required to run 50 yards or like 100 yards and to make sprints and to run past multiple players, then yes, I would say that he would be too old. Like, why extend him until the age of 36, 37, 38 years old? It makes no sense. But goalkeepers don't do that. Goalkeepers are just there to block shots and make goal kicks, and that's basically it. And maybe throw a few balls to the left side and the right side. That doesn't really require much. It's not really much of a athletic position, which is why goalkeepers are able to stay there for a very long time. So I see it completely fine with him staying until 36, 37, maybe even 39 years old. Look at Buffon, look at Neuer, look at all of these players. They're still at a very high level and they lasted very long. So this decision is very ideal. And now let's talk about Franck Kessie. And it says here, according to Javi Miguel, and I want to give you guys some context before we even get into this conversation. It says that Barcelona hope to close 8 more outgoings this summer. One of them is Lenglet, another is Dest, another is Collado, another is Nico, another is Pablo Torre, another player is Ferran Torres, Eric Garcia, and the last one is Franck Kessie, which is again the reason why I'm going to bring this conversation up. So when it comes to Kessie, which is the most also questionable, it says here that Kessie will not travel to the USA with the first team, and there's a very big reason on why he won't do that, is because his future is very uncertain. Barcelona may not want to keep him, even though Kessie had a great first season. According to multiple sources, it has also been claimed that he has an offer from Saudi Arabia with a net salary of 14 million euros, while Barcelona would earn around 20 million euros from this departure. However, Kessie would like to continue playing in Europe, with the Premier League being the league that best suits him the most. There's also been teams like Chelsea that have been very interested in the player, and they're also willing to sign him for a very good amount. And so Barcelona do have a lot of leverage here. Barcelona are looking at this and saying, hey, look, Kessie is a very valued player by many clubs out there, not just in Europe, but also in Saudi Arabia. We brought him in for free last year, and for whatever amount we sell him for, it would be for a complete profit. And to sell him for maybe 20 to 30 to 40 million euros, it would be a huge win for us. And so they see that as a huge financial gain, and it would definitely help them on buying players later down this summer if they let go of Kessie, which is why they don't want to have him in the plans for next season. If there's a time to sell him, it would be now. And especially when you know that you have Vitor Roque out there waiting to be signed and to be registered to play in La Liga and also to play in the Champions League and in all of those competitions, because right now it has been said that he's going to be coming in January as of now, and that's only because they have not done any exits. Barcelona have done no exits at all, and I think that Kessie leaving would allow Vitor to come in, which would be a player that they highly do need. And so I do think that the time for Kessie at this club, it is coming to a close. I would like to have him. I think that he is a phenomenal player with great qualities. He knows how to score. He knows how to bring assists. We saw that through the previous season, but because of Barcelona finances and because Barcelona have already brought in a reinforcement in the midfield like Gundogan, it seems like Kessie's importance at the club is diminishing. So we'll see how his future does pan out. And now let's talk about the last conversation, which will be about Dembele. Now we are going to be referencing Ter Stegen again, because again, if we're going to be talking about the captains, Ter Stegen is going to be in this conversation. But let's focus on Dembele first. And it says here that Dembele is a strong candidate to be one of the 4 captains next season. Like, this is a decision that is gaining strength in the club. The report continues to say that he maintains a very close relationship with the youngsters and is loved and respected by all of his teammates. So this is very big. It's huge, because many of us fans do see Dembele in a very different context, and we see him as I would say, just someone who gets injured all the time, every season. A lot of people don't take him seriously. They think that he's just there to produce vibes and just to look good and stuff like that. But I think that the feeling surrounding Dembele and how the club sees Dembele is changing, and I think that we should also change our perspective on how we view Dembele's position at Barcelona, because lately, in the past 6 to 7 months, he has been really showing true commitment in terms of progression, in terms of stats, in terms of what he does on the field, his injuries, his form, and everything else. And you may also question, why would Dembele be one of the captains of Barcelona when we have other players? Well, if you really think about it and you really assess the whole squad, Messi is gone, Jordi Alba is gone, Sergio Busquets is gone, Gerard Piqué is gone. Many of the veterans that were the captains of this club are gone. They're not here anymore. And now we have to, in a way, restart this squad and say, okay, who is going to be our next 4 captains? And if we look at the other players in the squad, like Pedri, Gavi, Ansu, Lewandowski, Ferran Torres, Eric Garcia, Alejandro Balde, Koundé, all of these players have not been here longer than Dembele in the first team. If you really think about it, Dembele has been there the longest out of all of those other players, which is also another reason why I believe Dembele could be one of the captains, because he has experience with the first team. He was signed in 2017, and in this season coming up, it would be considered as his 7th season in the first team. The only 2 players that do have more years in the first team than Dembele, it is Ter Stegen and also Sergi Roberto. Ter Stegen, because he has been here for so long, because he is an ideal world-class goalkeeper, he will be in the conversations, and probably he will for sure be one of the captains of Barcelona. But because Dembele is up there with the list and with Ter Stegen in terms of longevity in the first team, that is why he is in the conversations. He has been through so much. Diario Sport has also came out with a poll, basically putting players in and having people vote on who should be the main captains. Ter Stegen was number 1 with a total of 26%. Araujo was number 2 with a total of 22%. Frankie de Jong was number 3 with a total of 16%. And then we have Sergio Roberto in 4th position, which I don't agree, with 11%. Lewandowski taking 11% also of the votes. Dembele in 6th place with a total of 6% of the votes. And then lastly, we have Pedri and Gavi at the bottom with a total of 5% and 2%. I think that this is a very ideal list. I would only switch a couple of things out. I would put Lewandowski and Dembele as ties in terms of votes in the 4th position. It can either go to either Lewandowski or Dembele. It really doesn't matter. But Dembele is in the conversation. Ter Stegen, I get it on why he is going to be the captain. Araujo, I also get it because he is a great captain in the defensive line. Frankie de Jong, he has also been there since 2019. He is the engine of the midfield. I understand why he would be one of the captains. And then again, the tie should go down to either Lewandowski or Dembele. I don't see Sergio Roberto at all, even though I know that he has been with us since 2010 or something like that. Because of the lack of minutes that he does receive, because of the lack of presence he has in the first team, I don't see him as one of the captains, and it would not be ideal for the squad of FC Barcelona. So for me, I think that Dembele is the one because of the obstacles that he has been through. He has been through multiple injuries, and now he is here being named as one of the captains, scoring goals, providing assists, and that type of motivation, that type of story can be used to the youngsters. If any youngsters ever go through some sort of serious injury and they feel down and they feel like they can't make it at Barcelona, that is why Dembele is there, and he can tell them, hey, look, I have been in your position. I have been out for 9 months, and in the next season I was out for like 4 months, and in the next season I was out for 6 months. I've been in your position, and look where I'm at today. I worked hard. I trusted the coach. I trusted in myself, and now look at me. I'm being named as one of the captains. I'm starting in every game. Use me as a reference, and I got you. If you ever feel down, I can talk to you, and we can go through this together because I have experienced your pain before, which is why it's beautiful, right? To see Dembele have this type of come up, and especially when you know that Dembele was trying to be sold back in 2019 to bring in Neymar. He was also trying to be sold back in January 2022 because the agent really wanted the commission. And to know that even in this summer, PSG want to bring him in, Dembele says no. Dembele continues to say, even though you'll pay me more money, I understand that. I want to stay here at Barcelona because I am happy. And that is a warrior story. That is one of the biggest stories that we have seen in the past 3 to 4 years. If this does end up happening, if he becomes captain and he ends up starting and he brings goals and he brings assists. So it's a very exciting time to be a Barcelona fan, and especially Dembele fan, because his come up could be very, very real. So that is going to be wrapped in today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.